Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search in this recession. The resume we have up first is for a C#.net software engineer. The things we're going to be looking for in a C#.net software engineer is .net, C#. Obviously, we absolutely need those everywhere in the resume. If you're going for that, you need it. SQL, that was in almost every job. Then cloud, preferably Azure, but a few of the others did want like AWS or GCP. But if you have Azure, it is probably the best option. MVS, which is Microsoft Visual Studios, that was quite needed. Then there was Git, Agile, RESTful API, CI/CD. Front end was pretty popular. It seems like they want you to do a lot of full stack, which makes sense in this market. Cross-functional, and DevOps was in a lot of them. Weirdly enough, there were more DevOps than ASP.NET. So if you have some kind of DevOps, you should put it in. So this person states to me, I follow your YouTube channel. Yay. And I really, which everybody else should do. You should all subscribe. There we go. This person said it, not me. And really appreciate what you do. I'm a new grad in CS and looking for my first software engineer position, specifically in the .NET tech stack. I've been building multiple portfolio projects and would appreciate your view on my resume. I'd like to know how I can improve and if there are any gaps in the tech stack that I could be missing. So let's find out. Can I see what I find? Can I find what I need in 20 seconds, which is all the time that a recruiter gets to look at it. Realistically, it's 15 seconds, but like I have to enunciate, and doing this live, I add an extra 5 seconds. But this is pretty close to, like, if you want to know what a recruiter actually does with your resume, this is probably the closest version, is trying to find it in 20 seconds. So, go. Okay, good that we have this. Nothing here. ASP.NET, Core MVC is good. C#, okay. This is solid. Angular, TypeScript, the rest of this I don't need. RESTful API is good, and that's it. That's all I got. So, was this good or bad? There were 5 things I found. So, I found ASP.NET. That was one of them. I found RESTful APIs. That was the other. I found C#, which, good. I found the front end, and I think that's all I found. Yes, that was all I had a chance to find because of partly the formatting. And I'm still a little sick. I am mostly better. I was very sick in the last one, but you need your resume to get past a sick person. Like if somebody is sick and they've got a migraine and they have 3 people messaging them at the same time, your resume needs to be good enough to get past them because that is a likely scenario that is happening. So would this pass? No, it just does not have enough stuff. And I think you can realize that I just did not have enough stuff. So let's put them back and see what we can do to fix this. Yeah. All right. As I do this incorrect, wrong. All right. So first things first, this should be in a bullet point. That is what you need. Second off, I don't need you to say this. This does not matter. You do not need to say this. You can safely delete this. Third, this teaching experience should go under the project. So the order of operations, there are 4 things you need to take in consideration of when to order your resume. And it goes from the most important to least important. The most important, above all else, is relevancy. And this, the fact that you've done it for 2 months and there's absolutely nothing here that is relevant, and this was 5 years ago, needs to be deleted. There's just nothing here, or at least move to the bottom because it's not relevant. The second is work experience, but again, it's relevancy in work experience. So your work experience should not be higher than your projects because it's not relevant to the role you're applying to. Then the next stage is relevant projects. This is where that needs to be up top. And then relevancy in internships, then projects. So, still sick. Let me rephrase that for people. The most important thing is relevancy. If something is not related, it does not go into this order. So, it is work experience first, then internships, then projects. The problem with this is your work experience is not relevant, so this should be deleted, and then the internships should go up, which, do you even have any internships? No. So then your projects need to go up. So because you do not have any relevant work experience, because you do not have any relevant internships, your project should be the first thing I see after your education. Then we get down to here, and the problem with this, there's a lot of extra stuff that I don't need. So the first biggest problem is I don't see .NET. I see ASP.NET, but there were jobs that asked for both, which means regardless of how true or not true this is, you need to put .NET, because a lot of them said .NET and ASP.NET, but not many of them just said ASP.NET. So you need to make this into just .NET. I know that might enrage people, but that's how people view it. So then this is good that you have this. So I want this to be fixed. So first off, it said architected a .NET Core Microsoft Visual Studios parentheses MVC web application in C# using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. The rest of this stuff isn't needed. Well, you can say to create the front end. You don't need to say dynamic. So because you had TypeScript, because you had Tailwind CSS, because you had Angular materials, it took me longer and I wasn't able to go further in your resume. You need to be hyper focused on what your resume actually shows. Some of this stuff is irrelevant. Implemented real-time chat functionality, that's fine. Tells me what you're doing. Using Signal R, I don't know what that is and I don't care about it. And using RabbitMQ, don't care. Haven't seen those in a job description. Designed and maintained RESTful APIs, good, what I'm actually looking for. In ASP.NET Core Web API, you already stated this earlier. I do not need you to state it again. The rule of when you should repeat the same qualification is in different projects. So is it good that you have ASP.NET twice in this? No, it actually holds you back. But it is good if you put it, say, down here. So it is okay to mention the front end here and here, but it is not okay to mention the front end here and, as an example, here. So you don't want to double up in the same job. That goes for everybody. Don't double up on your qualifications in the same job or project. You want to double up on them in each separate project or qualification or work experience. So... but yeah, I don't need like half of this. The only thing I really care about is RESTful API, and that's it. So this is not a good sentence regardless because you need more than RESTful APIs. Then we have containerize the application using Docker. Don't really care as much, specifically because this is a C#.NET role. Stored images in Microsoft Azure. Good. I want Azure. You actually wrote this correct as it is in parentheses too. Azure is good. Manage container deployment using Azure. You already said it twice. Is this the same thing? I don't know. But if anything, you don't even need to say the Kubernetes. You can just say using Azure or Microsoft Azure. And integrating automated CI/CD is good. I don't care about Ansible. So is this a garbage resume? No, I don't think this is a garbage resume. But the problem is there's too much stuff jam-packed into this that a person who is reading this, again, 15 to 20 seconds, that's all we get, will not be able to find what they need. Because I actually see out of my corner of my eye, you have Git, which is good down here. And I didn't get to SQL down here. And I don't like saying which qualifications are more important than others. But for this, I would say .NET, C# and SQL are your main ones. You need those, and those need to be in the absolute first sentence. That is part of your stack, and that is that is the big qualification. So this is why you're having issues, is your resume is just crammed to the brim with stuff that I don't need, and in the limited amount of time, especially for an entry-level role, I have to view it, I can't find what I need. So that's all I can do for this one. If you ever need more help, you can always come on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlestheadhunter. That's where I find these qualifications. That's where I can help people a little bit more outside of YouTube. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume, I don't know. This is a bit of a problem, is this person said application support analyst, but I could not find the exact job title because, and remember, I don't have like knowledge of all of these beforehand. I have to look up the qualifications before every role. Is an application support analyst is going to depend on what you're supporting. If you are supporting an HRIS, that is going to be different than supporting, I don't actually know. There's a ton of different stuff. So I can't actually get the qualifications for this because it is too broad, and this person doxed themselves. So probably maybe Oracle, but yeah, you need to break down an application support analyst by what you are supporting, because a UKG analyst is going to be different than a Workday analyst, is going to be different than an Oracle analyst, and they're all going to want slightly different stuff. They are going to want you to talk to other people and work cross-functionally and have a degree, but that's about it. So This will be mostly on formatting, and the formatting doesn't really work. So first off, this can be safely deleted. No one needs this. This doesn't matter. It does not help at all. And then I can scroll down a little bit, but I cannot scroll up. Application support analyst, so backend support. So Oracle is good. Again, it's good that you state what you're working for because that is a big thing. Let's see. But then this achieved a 98% resolution downtime. No one cares about that, right? Like, not every role needs a number. Most of them don't. So this doesn't work. Cross-functionally is good. And then hold on a second. I need to check to make sure I'm not doxing them. So this is a privacy screen real quick. Okay, good. We're good. I cannot scroll past this. There was an issue, so this is all I can show. But yeah, I just don't have enough here because you filled it with like percentages. I despise the fact that people tell candidates, oh, you need to put in hard quantifiable metrics. You don't need to. It's not relevant. It's okay to have, like, it's not like it's a rejection if you have a quantifiable element, but the problem is this isn't what I would be looking for. Now, I don't know the exact qualifications besides cross-functional, but troubleshooting is nice, but like I don't care about reducing resolution time. I don't care about productivity and satisfaction. I want to know that you talk to stakeholders, right? I want to know more about what you did, and you don't really tell me because you focused entirely upon achievements. And then here, like, streamlined SAP-based receiving and dispatch operations is fine, but I don't really care about the 10%, because if you put down a percentage, my immediate thought is, well, why not higher percentage, or why not lower percentage? You reduced it by 10%. Cool. What if I needed 20%? Then I wouldn't move you forward, right? Like, increased operational efficiency by 15%. Cool. What if I needed 100%? Wouldn't move you forward. So you don't want to put percentages in most things. There are a couple of exceptions, like sales and directors can put percentages because sometimes you do actually need those. But for most everybody else, try to avoid percentages when you can. Like, you can just say which improved our operational efficiency, or which increased customer satisfaction. But by 15%, you immediately make me want to go like, well, why not higher? So that's all I can do for this one. And they dox themselves, so I don't even know. Maybe they have more stuff below, but I don't actually know what you are a application support analyst of, and that's probably a big problem because it needs to be specific. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. This is their full stack resume. They also are looking for Java and AI, but those are slightly different resumes. So this person has over 150 applications to one interview, which is awful. That is absolutely horrible. So let's find out what we can do to fix it. And for a full stack in the United States, what we are looking for is, and I feel like I do this every single episode at least once, and I still haven't memorized it, but TypeScript. Let me see if I'm not going to try to memorize it. TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, APIs, RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and then one of .NET or Python or Java. You don't need all of them, just one of those. And bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. So, can I find that in 20 seconds? Probably not. Let's begin. All right, this formatting is off. Nothing I can use here matters. Python, okay, and PyTorch can be okay. Oh boy, this is a lot of things. So full stack for CI/CD and Docker. Okay, that's it. Yeah, there's like nothing here. Okay, so this is. Did you send me the right one? I think you did. You were also looking for AI engineer. Maybe this is the AI engineer one. Let me check, and there was an error. If not, so AI, no, I don't see any AI. I don't see any LLM or NLP or ML. I did see PyTorch, which was good. There's AI and nothing. Okay, so this resume does not work. This is a problem. All right. So, They are also in my chat right now, so after this I'm going to be helping them out. But the biggest issue is I just can't find anything I need, right? Like, so remember, this is the stuff that I am looking for. This is close to correct, right? Like TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Python, SQL, and then maybe an extra language, which is nice. There's the cloud for AWS. There is AWS as well. There is GitHub. There is a few of the others. The problem is I can't use anything that's here. So a lot of people assume that they will put a slight skill section where they put all of the keywords, and I use that in quotation marks because no recruiter calls them keywords. And the problem with that is we can't use it. And what they will do instead is not put them here, which is, I assume, what you did. Oh, I see JavaScript HTML down here. That's actually, that part is solid. So this is your biggest issue, is you put them all in the wrong place and you don't show me why. And this is in particular why there are no keywords, all right? Like, people say keywords. I have gone back and forth on personally calling them keywords myself, but I'm trying to move away from it for y'all, because if it was a keyword, right? If this was a singular keyword that a recruiter saw and then we went, or AI saw and went, beep, bop, boop, bop, we would move you forward, but that's not how it works, because we're not looking for keywords, we're looking for qualifications. And the thing that determines if you are actually qualified and have a qualification is the thing itself, which is this, right? This stuff would be a qualification, but you need to show me how you did it and the reason or result of you doing it under a job or an internship or a project. And that's why this doesn't count as anything, is you don't show me where you did it, and you don't show me how you did it, and you don't show me the reason and result of doing it. Like, here, okay, I actually missed Python here because this was so hard to read. But, like, improved an AI application using Python and Streamlit is solid. To generate the rest of that, I don't care, but it tells me what it is and the reason and result. So this is actually one of your best sentences. The problem is I just need more. Like, if you just said, improved an AI application using TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and Python to create X and Y, that would be a fine sentence. But I need them in these sentences, because you said developed a full stack using Jenkins and CI/CD, and I like CI/CD, but I need more than that, right? Like, what else did you use? Here's the JavaScript, the HTML, and CSS. It's all the way down here. I didn't even get to this in the 20 seconds. So I will help them more outside of this on my stream. But yeah, the big problem is there's just not enough of what I have. In addition, I see more of the front end than I do of the back end that I need. So that's a big problem. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a GRC analyst. This is in the cybersecurity realm. Safe to say I have not done this one before. But when I looked it up, despite this entire mess of words up here, actually did not seem like they were looking for a lot. They want to make sure you're in the cybersecurity or GRC space. They want to know that you have Sarbanes-Oxley or SOX. That was in a ton of them. Along with maybe some ISO and maybe some PIC and the rest of these. So basically, if you meet any of these. In addition, do you have any of these CISA, Certified Information System certs? In fact, I need to change that real quick. It is literally just any of them. There are quite a bit of them. I am not going to list them all. And then they want to know that you can do security risks and trends, security compliance assessments, audits, and developing, like, documentation standards and guidelines. So this is sort of, from what I understand, a more macro level of cybersecurity, is you are creating the plans to be compliant for all that stuff. So can I find it in 20 seconds? No, but this is a bit of a rarer role. This is in the cybersecurity realm. This is more of senior, and recruiters would probably actually have about 40 seconds to find this. So I'm going to do 20 seconds to see if I can find it. So I see at least one of these that I need. I see a degree. This is good. PCI is okay, along with one others. Mitigation plans, that's solid. Solid as well. And then I'd have another 20 seconds, which I actually found most of it. This is already kind of a pass for me. This is actually pretty good. Like, yeah, I don't like the formatting, but again, I'd rather have bad formatting than bad bullet points, and these bullet points are mostly solid. So CMS, PSI, project incident, GAC compliance with governments, SOP policies, audit readiness. I actually found out most of what I needed. This would probably be a pass. This would definitely be, I would need more information during the pre-screen, but they would probably have that differently. I think if there's anything missing from this, it is weirdly enough the words GRC. I would really prefer this to say manage enterprise-wide risk registry as a GRC analyst or something, because a lot of them were specifically asking for the GRC, and the problem is this is a highly technical role. It's entirely probable that the people reviewing this resume either A, don't know the industry because they are too overwhelmed with their volume on the recruiter side, or B, you are their first hire and you are going to be the subject matter expert and they don't know. And they may not know that all of this means GRC. They may not. The Sarbanes-Oxley, the SOX is great. And you had most of these. I would prefer some ISO in the first one, but it's fine. And you have the CISA, but yeah, that's like my only issue, really. It's good. I actually like it. I think they should change the formatting a little bit. So since all of these expire in 2028, I would kind of put these on one line. So just put like CISM, CISSP, CIS, CRIC, CompTI, and then just have expires 2028, right? Like, yeah, they're all at different times, but it doesn't really matter. So that should be fine. So these can be to shrink this up a little bit. This should not have this underline on it. This should not have the underline on it. And I just want GRC and, if possible, an ISO early up here. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I actually really like it. I think this person, they are in chat, and I think they were expecting me to like roast it and tell me how terrible it is. But no, I found most of what I needed. It's relatively clear, even for it being a highly technical thing that I don't know a ton about personally. So yeah, pretty good. I like Lee like. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a junior graduate software developer. They are looking for C# roles, Java roles, backend, or full stack. Please don't you can't do that. You can't just say everything. Look, I know you may be looking for everything, but you gotta be very specific. So with the full disclosure that these are the .NET qualifications for the US, and they might be slightly different in the UK because that is where this person is. I am going to be only looking for C#. This may be the best Java developer or full stack developer I've ever seen, but that doesn't matter because I'm looking for C#. Again, in the US, I did not actually get the differences between the US and the EU, so this may actually be fantastic in the EU. I don't know. So what we're looking for in the US, at least, is .NET, C#, SQL, Cloud, any of them, but probably with a preference for Azure. MVS, which is Microsoft Visual Studio, Git, Agile, RESTful API, CI/CD frontend, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, cross-functional DevOps, and ASP.NET. Which, please let me know if that's actually what they're looking for in the UK. I don't know all the other markets. I only know the US market. So, can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's find out. And go. Okay, I don't think this is needed. This I can't use. That's okay. Okay, C#, good. UI, front end, CI/CD, Docker, Azure. Okay, HTML. So, is this a bad resume? No. Is this a great resume? No. So, assuming the qualifications are the same in the US, which again could not be, it's entirely probable, you have a bit of an issue in the order of your resume. If somebody is able to get all the way down here or all the way down here, they will probably move you forward. The problem is not everybody's going to be able to do that. So the first thing we need to do is fix your formatting. Your formatting should look like this, okay? Then this should be one line. I don't think this is needed. This is nice to have. This is nice to have. Maybe put that in the same line. So again, it should be this, and then under that should be this one and this one, if combined if possible. Then we go to your experience. So nominated for Placement Student of the Year and awarded company sponsorship for performance and contribution. Fantastic. The problem is I also want to know what you do. So what you should say is this said, nominated for Placement Student of the Year and awarded company sponsorship for performance and contribution in creating C#, CI/CD, DevOps, and Git. Right? The problem is you buried this all the way down here. I want to see this in the first sentence. If you are a software engineer, I need to see your stack in the first sentence. That is critical. And that is across both stuff. The rest of these are actually not terrible. Again, I think you have too many bullet points here. Like, I like this one, right? This is fantastic. This is solid. This should be wrapped up in your first bullet point, because C# needs to be there. Yeah, it's just too wordy. That's kind of my problem. You've got some fantastic stuff here, right? Like, you alone may be able to get stuff by this because it's used by Nobel-winning teams. It's just, I don't know if they're going to always get there. So you just kind of need to shrink it. So I would like you to say, created a blank, so this is your tech stack, as a, and was, you know what, we can switch this down to here, while that delivered a mission critical hardware integration under tight deadlines, which is fantastic how you wrote that, by the way, now in active use by major labs, including Nobel winning teams. This is probably going to be your best bullet point. You just need to put your stack in it, and it should be up here. And then your second one can say nominated for Placement Student of the Year and awarded company scholarship for performance and contribution. My big problem is you just put the tech stack down here. You will probably get a way better ratio if you just put this up. So again, your first bullet point should be delivered a mission critical hardware integration in that is your tech stack, and then the rest of that can be the same, because that's fantastic. That's great. Down here, pretty solid. Preferred a little bit more information on this, but otherwise it's good. And that, yeah. So again, solid. You've done some really good stuff. I need you to tell me what you do, because this, again, needs to be here. So overall, not as bad as I think people think. And this is the type of bragging that can get you an actual job, because they're like, oh damn, Nobel Peace Winning Prize. We get that. So that's all I can do for, which again, most people don't want to put brags. And you know what? This is actually, I want to put a notice to this if people still watching. This is a fantastic use of actual brags, right? Like, at no point in this is there a percentage or number. And it's fantastic for it. At no point did they say delivered a mission critical hardware increasing productivity by 12%. No, they said it was used by Nobel winning teams. That's a brag. Like, it's not great to brag in your resume, but this is how you do it. Not everybody's going to be able to, but unless you can do something like this, don't brag. Don't put these percentages and numbers in. Just put what you did. This right here is also a good way to say it. You were awarded a company sponsorship for performance and contribution, or at least nominated. That already tells me what you do. You didn't say nominated as a 12% over 13%. So that's all I can do for this. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.